Hello students, I am Ishan Trivedi. Welcome you in this video lecture series. Today I am going to discuss about the urban mass transit coordination and the concept of capacity of rapid transit system. Inclusive of these two theories, I am adding the example of capacity of rapid transit system. So let us first understand what is urban mass transit coordination. Coordination means the pooling the transportation resources and the activities of several human services agencies with one another or with the mass transit operation in order to achieve the various benefits. Here, mass transit authorities often define the coordination in terms of their authority to regulate various number of transport, for example, rail, taxi, and the bus transit in a given community or geographical area. Here, the transit planner may focus on the defining and the redefining the routes and the schedules based on the integration of these transit coordination. In metropolitan planning organization, these are those agencies which are responsible for the long term and the short term regional transport planning and may interested in how several travel modes such as highways and the transit can be better work together. The coordination is one management strategy for improving the performance of transportation services and increasing overall mobility by bringing the inefficiency out of uh, disparate operations and the service patterns. So here what I'm doing, I'm just doing the integration of various transportation services. Here one image has been shown to you where the underground metro is there. Then at their exits are provided at the somewhere in the station or the surrounding malls, and by walkway and several facilities we can just reduce those discomfort and provide those coordination of services, and ultimately the travel time can be reduced by various ways. So there are some benefits of coordination. The potential benefits of coordination among those transportation providers includes more resource applied to transportation, more cost effective and use of those resources, then expanded services, then more trips taken over there, and at last there is a lower cost of customer. As there is a saving in cost for some participating agencies, there are more centralized management which improve the service quality and a greater emphasis on safety and customer services which are available by flexible payment, and there is a single payment for all those different modes of transportation, and at last there is service options. Here the coordination is one of those several transportation management or problem solving tool where the aim is to determine whether it can be improve the transportation services in a particular locality. Transportation planner must first gather those data about the potentiality of those population to receive transportation services and the current transportation providers, and based on that there will be coordination of different modes of transportation. Then they must analyze the effectiveness and the efficiency of current services in a meeting the target of population's need. So in Ahmedabad case also there is an integration of various modes of transportation, whether it can be a local bus service by AMTS and the BRTS Janmarg. Similarly, there will be integration with metro in the nearest future, and based on that, the feeder service, particularly for those corridor, can be designed. So, in that context, particularly the coordination in mass transit, they require certain things. For example, fare coordination. where the coordination of ticketing arrangement and the fare structure has been considered. Then the service schedule coordination, where the coordination of vehicle schedules to facilitate the transfer. Here, these schedules are planned in a such a way that there will be lesser time for waiting those bus or the any mass transit services. Then the information coordination by the joint distribution of service information by the transit operators, where the schedule and the interval frequency of any bus or the mass transit system on that particular route, these systems can be distributed and the awareness has been provided to people in general sense so that they can uh, plan their trips according to their bus and the mass transit or any rail or metro services. Then the facilities or vehicle coordination. These include the collective purchase of equipment, vehicles, and other resources on the part of transit agencies for the purpose of achieving economic of scale. In modern metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, the demand of mass transit has increased rapidly. Here, both the system like bus rapid transit system and the bus system or municipality bus system play an important role to alleviate the urban traffic congestion and the pollution in the urban area. And comparing this BRT with the local bus system, the BRT system is a kind of transportation with larger capacity and higher punctuality rate. However, the reach of this BRTS is not much with comparison to the local bus system, which is governed by the local municipality. Because of that, the coordination has to be there between the BRTS and the bus, and which ultimately maximize their strength and attract more ridership uh, in the transit system. The coordinated operation of BRTS and the feeder bus is also there in the Ahmedabad also. And this coordination in the system is very important for an integrated mass transit system, which can improve both operation efficiency and the service level of the urban mass transit system. Now, if I'm talking about the types of coordination or integration requires among various modes of transportation, where passenger plays important role in this transportation. Here the passenger transport has always been intermodal. People switch from carriages to ferries at the river, from the road-based transportation to the ship for overseas voyages, from air transport to road transport, and from rail transport to road transport, and etc. So first we need to understand the type of coordination or integration we require. First is the connectivity between the bus and train. Most of the large cities provide this good connectivity between the rail network and the bus network. It helps the commuters to commute a long distance or a medium distance by availing two modes subsequently. The metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai offer a good interchange facilities between the rail and the bus service to enable the people to reach far distances. Then there is an airport rail link. It is increasingly become popular to provide accessibility between the airport and the train by developing good interchange facilities. Many airports have now mass transit link. For example, the exclusive Metro Express from Delhi Railway Station to Indira Gandhi Airport. Then there is automobile and the trains. There should be a provision to park automobile at the rail terminal. If possible, the trains may have the arrangement to carry the automobile even in it, and this is particularly of use in the areas where the trains may travel but automobile cannot, such as a channel tunnel linking between England and France through the rail link under the sea. Next is the terminals. The areas at which the passenger and the freight enters and leave the system are essential component of the all transport system. They not only provide a major functional component of the system but also often are concerned with major cost and possible points of congestions. The primary function of these transportation terminals is to facilitate the entrance and the exit of the objects to be transported with respect to passenger or freight, and some of those terminals serves a single function, loading and unloading. Then we have the park and ride. The park and ride is that system where the people park their vehicle at a defined parking place and ride into public transportation. At some metro station and the railway station, huge parking facilities is provided to encourage the commuters to commute by metro, or you can say rail, after parking their vehicles at metro station. So there is a type of coordination that we need to require for those sustainable transportation planning. Now I am moving towards the capacity of rapid transit system. Capacity of rapid transit system may be defined as the maximum number of passengers that the system can move across a point in a specified period of time. It is sometimes referred as the line capacity. It is often the measure of a passenger per hour per direction, means pph PD. Here there are several terms for the finding the capacity of rapid transit system. First is the time headway, which is denoted by h. It is the time interval between the passage of two successive vehicles moving in the same lane and measured from head to head as they pass a point on the road. Means if I'm standing at a bus station, then if one bus passes at particular time, then the next successive bus which passes on that particular route, then it is the time headway. It is expressed in minutes. Here the equation is there, that is the headway in minutes, h is equal to 60 vehicle minute per hour upon frequency. It is in terms of vehicle per hour. Here 60 is just denoted because of the unit we referred, that is in hour. Here next is the frequency. The number of vehicles per unit time passed a certain point on the road. Here the frequency is denoted by F, which is vehicle per hour, which is equal to 60 vehicle minute per hour upon H, that is headway in minute. Next definition is the reliability. Reliability denotes by R. It is the percentage of vehicle arrivals with less than a fixed time deviation from the schedule. It is like if I'm waiting for a bus which arrives at station at 10:30 and if it arrives exactly at 10:30, then the reliability is 100%. If it is deviated from its schedule, then it will be less than 100. So this is how you can remember this reliability. Now we have the transit capacity. It is of two parts, that is the vehicle capacity, which is denoted by CV, and the second one is the passenger capacity, it is CP. If I'm talking about the CV, means the vehicle capacity, then it is the maximum number of vehicles passes a point on the road per hour. CV is equal to 60 upon H into R in vehicle per hour, that is its unit, where H is the headway in minute and R is the reliability in percentage fraction. Then the second is the load factor, which is denoted by alpha. It is the passenger per bus capacity. Means the capacity of bus is 60 and the passengers which are traveling in the bus are 65, then 65 upon 60 is denoting the load factor, and here it is 1.08. This means if the load factor is greater than 1, then the bus is running beyond its capacity level and the level of service is deteriorating. Now next term is the passenger capacity, which is denoted by CP. It is the maximum number of passengers that the system can move across a point in 1 hour per direction, it is denoted by the equation Cp, which is equal to Cv into n into S into alpha. It is measured by the persons per hour, where Cv is equal to vehicle capacity, then N is the number of vehicle, S is the sitting or number of seats available in that vehicle, and alpha is our load factor. Now, based on these terminologies, let us understand an example. First, we will go through the problem statement, then we'll have the solution. Find the maximum capacity per hour of BRT and metro for the frequency of 60 trips per hour on any corridor. So first I have to find out the vehicle capacity, and based on that I'll find out the passenger capacity of BRT and metro individually. So here few data is missing, so we need to understand certain data, and these will be at a certain time interval, so you won't get confused regarding those data. So first I have the F, that is the frequency. It is 60 vehicle per hour. Now I'm assuming the reliability. Here I'm assuming that the reliability is 100% and it is in fraction, so it is 1. Now the headway is equal to 60 upon frequency. Here 60 divided by 60, because the frequency is 60 and the headway of those buses or the metro is 1 minute. So each in minute one BRT and metro passes on their own corridor. Then the vehicle capacity CV. CV is equal to 60 upon H into R. Here 60 upon 1 into 1, where R is reliability 1 and H is again headway. Again the answer is 60 vehicle per hour. Now next is the maximum capacity of BRTS that they are carrying. Here, assuming the capacity of BRTS in terms of seat capacity, then S is 50 and load factor I am assuming that is 1.10. So I am putting these in the equation of capacity of passenger in that vehicle. Then the passenger capacity Cp is equal to Cv into N into S into alpha, where Cv is 60 and here the number of bus is 1 and the capacity of that bus particularly is 50 into the alpha factor is 1.10. So total number of passenger which are traveling per hour, it is 3300 persons per hour. Now similarly I'll compute for the metro. Again I am going to assume the seat capacity of metro. Here I am assuming the 4 number of coaches in a metro, and each coach consists of 75 seats. Here the load factor is again alpha 1.10. So the capacity of metro is Cp is equal to again Cv into N into S into alpha. Here 60 is our Cv value. Now number of coaches are 4, so I'll put 4 into the seat capacity, again it is 75, so I'll put 75 and the load factor is 1.10. So total number of passengers in a metro are 19,800 per hour. Now understand the second problem. An existing transport corridor is to be converted into BRT having reliability of 85%. The seat capacity of the bus is 70 with permissible standing 50% and headway is 15 minutes. Calculate the vehicle capacity and passenger capacity of BRT. Here all those data which require for computing the passenger capacity of system is being given. Here the reliability is 85%, so it is 0.85. Here the headway H is equal to 15 minutes. So I'll put in the equation, that is vehicle capacity Cv is equal to 60 upon H into R, means the 60 upon H is 15 into 0.85 and the vehicle capacity is 3.4, means nearly 4 vehicle per hour. Now I'll find out the capacity of BRT for carrying those passengers. So passenger capacity of BRT. Now here the data is given that the bus sitting capacity is 70, so S is 70. Now here alpha has been given that additional 50% people are standing in the system. So above 70 there are 50% more people are standing. So here the load factor alpha is 1.50. Now the passenger capacity Cp is equal to Cv into N into alpha into S, where Cv is 4, S is 70, N is 1 and the alpha is 1.5, and total number of passengers are 420 persons per hour in that BRT. So I am ending this session here. I hope you have learned the urban mass coordination and the capacity of rapid transit. Thanks for watching this video.